Hey Scorpios, and welcome to your January 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here, and I can't believe that I'm coming to you in 2018. It's amazing to sort of watch the calendar years pass by as I'm continuing on with these general readings and YouTube, and it's amazing, Scorpios. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, the energy coming in for you is absolutely incredible. Okay, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot that still needs to be worked on and a lot that still needs to be calibrated more properly. But let me tell you, things have changed and things will continue changing. January is sort of the month where you purify and cleanse out some of your inhibitions so that by around March, you can start on the path and become sort of what it is that you need to be. And I'm sort of getting chills right as I'm tapping into your energy, and it makes me really happy to be integrated with Scorpio energy because although it's not an easy type of energy to have working within you right now, it gives a lot and it makes a lot of possibilities come up. Although I can't say that it's a very easy experience of this. Like, I feel like a lot of other signs who have had this type of experience, it's been more of a sudden and more obvious things, but Scorpio experiences this type of energetic phenomenon in a more subtle way and in a more background occlusive way, I want to say. So, definitely use January to sort of go within and search, okay, where are my blessings? Where are my curses? Because you may have seen from the title of this video, or I don't know if I titled it something else, but a lot of what January and even February feels like to me is when like blessings become curses or when curses become blessings. There's a lot of polarity integration happening in the sense that things that you really thought were hopeless can become like your springboard into the next stage of life. And also things that you think give you everything can become very small. So definitely don't, I want to say, overstructure yourself into believing that one thing gives you a direct outcome, because this is a period of time where through you being adaptable in a good way and not in a way that's like based on a reaction of you not being able to face things, but you being adaptable and seeing what is actually the best avenue for you gives you amazing outcomes in places that you may have never expected it. So there's a lot of new energies, lots of new people and new ways, I want to say, of spending energy, because I think that's been the biggest issue for Scorpios is if I can speak, it's like, how have I spent energy over the last 2 years, ever since Saturn was in my sign? How have I chosen to transact my energy and what have I gotten back? I think this is a lot of the reason why Scorpio may feel a little bit unstable right now, is because there's not been a lot of equal and opposite reaction. Saturn in Sagittarius over the last 2 years gives a strange type of energetic outcome to expenditures. But as I'm coming to you guys in this reading right now in January, we now have Saturn in Capricorn. So this should be actually very wonderful for Scorpio, although it can feel a bit gloomy and a little bit ominous or even overcast, I want to say. It works much better with your energetic receptors. So anything that has to do with business, anything that has to do with assets, resources, tangible things within life should become much more intuitive for you. And actually, if you can start to focus on those things and take the more non-tangible aspects of life and put them on the sideline, and sort of not expect or try to manipulate the more non-tangible things, you should have really wonderful outcomes. This is a month, Scorpio, where through building, enduring, and going through the creative process in a structured way will give you enough karmic energy and outcome to generate, I want to say, like 7.5 years worth of amazing content. So for anyone who's creatively aspired or content based, use January as an amazing period of time to get content out, to be back at the drawing board, I want to say, and to really, really become integrated with what it is that you actually want to do. Anything that you've been doing, like sort of go back over the last year or even 2 years and think, okay, what have I sort of enjoyed doing only when it's finished? Or what has made my ego feel good only once I've finished it, where I don't actually even like the process of putting it together? It's time to not necessarily take those things away, because Saturn in Capricorn kind of demands that we use what we have constructed thus far and we make it more solidified. But now is the time where it becomes very important to, I don't know, like, how can I say, I want to say like cosmify it, like make it more cosmic or more integrated with what you do, in a sense that you can start to enjoy the process of drudgery and also the process of completion. So as relationships go this month at an intuitive level, Scorpios, it is a soulmate type of month. Yes, I sense you being in contact with people that you never thought that you would be. People from the past seem to really be drifting away, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It feels like you've almost let go. And closure is definitely still a key word, but it feels like you're giving it to yourself, and you have to in January, Scorpio. Once you give it to yourself, it's more possible to get it from other people. You really have to be able to let the past go right now. And it's that simple, Scorpios. Anything that's really past driven or derivative of the past, I want to say, is not good right now. Learn what you need to learn, put like in bullet points what you did learn, and then maybe pack away the rest of the details in a box, put it in storage, and be done with it, at least for a while. Because January and even February, Scorpios, are a gift from the universe to you. You have Jupiter in your sign for a year here. A lot has to happen. If you just sort of go through this time in too much of a backseat type of way and don't really take this energy by the horns, you'll come out on the other side without that many changes. You'll be better off, and things will get better one way or another. But if you really confront the energy that is here, you can really go far. So January and February, they're a little bit separated, because in March something will happen in the sense that you have been calibrated and it's time to like jump onto the path. But you can kind of do whatever you want in January and February. It feels like, as long as you're at the drawing board, as long as you're content based, because it is separate. You are separate from people right now. You're almost functioning in a different reality in January and February. And I don't know why it's coming out as February too. That's just what I'm hearing. In January and February, you're almost in a different sense of time, almost in a wormhole or in a different dimensional area of life. And basically you can do whatever you want. But if you can actually make yourself construct what needs to start happening in March, oh my God, Scorpio, you will be so powerful, and it will be so amazing to see what you come up with. But overall, the energy is feeling very new, very different, and very powerful for the future. I'm so proud to be seeing this. I'm so proud to have a Scorpio integrated energy into myself, and I can't wait to see what happens. Of course, with this kind of power, there does come a responsibility, and there does come potentials for like a big explosions or big falling outs. But I mean, that's just the Scorpio thing. Learn to go through these types of energies with more finesse or more strength, because it really feels like your reaction determines how big the explosion can be. So if you can build a strong core and a strong power within yourself right now, Scorpios, I really am speechless to what you can accomplish. So anyway, that's sort of what I'm feeling for you guys for general intuitive energy. I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week of January, and we'll see more specifically what's coming forward. In the first week, you guys have strength rooted down by King of Wands. And to me, this is all about changing up the formula. For those of you who are business owners, or for those of you who, again, are creatively aspired, this should be a huge injection of new creative energy. I think Scorpio has been feeling a little bit drained of this type of thing and sort of fearful, oh my gosh, is this Saturn in Capricorn? Is this just going to completely take away my creative abilities? No, I feel like in the first week of January, whatever's coming to you, any kind of snap decisions that come in, it's like capitalize on that. And regardless of whether this has to do with business or creative projects, it's like any sort of stale aspect of your life right now, definitely listen to your gut when it's like, okay, I have this house that I can't afford, or okay, I have this relationship which is no longer giving me what I need. What are sort of the gut instincts that I'm suddenly feeling, and how can I actually bring those into light? Because very, very small things, Scorpio, for you with Jupiter doing what it's doing, catalyze a lot and catalyze completely new realities. So definitely tap in on that. This could also be masculine fire energy coming in. So Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, men or masculine beings coming in to change things or to give you strength. I almost feel like it's good leaders. Like for those of you who are employed, I sense like better bosses, or even co-workers, or just people who inspire you in a more mature leader type of way. I also sense planning trips and traveling, so planning vacations, or for those of you who travel with business, really setting up those calendar dates. It's going to be important in 2018 Scorpios to have a home base, yes, because I mean Jupiter in Scorpio functions a lot better if there's a home base or if there's a root present, because it's like you need something to come back to. with all the stimulus that comes in. But also Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius natally, it is at home in Sagittarius, which is foreign travel, experience of other cultures, academia, higher values in learning. So it's almost like Scorpio needs to travel or needs to experience some kind of difference in culture or different location in order to do some karmic healing. But at the same time, Scorpio is a very home sign, like all the water signs have, especially Cancer, but Scorpio as well deals with home and roots and places that we return to and the past. So how can you integrate those two things, Scorpio? The first week is a great place to gain strength through the integration of your home base and also your exterior foreign world. Okay, second week, you guys have Eight of Swords rooted down by Temperance. That's beautiful because Eight of Swords is a pretty good descriptive card of where Scorpio energy has been for a long time. That's healing, that sort of conflict or that victim mentality. Because Scorpio's victim mentality isn't like other people's. Like, I sense a lot of Scorpios being like, what are you talking about? I'm never the victim. I would never play that card. And you don't, but you do. And I can say as Scorpio energy, like, Scorpios would never play victim in a damsel in distress type of way, but sometimes Scorpio is a victim only to themselves and only to yourself. Like you're your own worst critic and your own victimizer in a way. So any of the self-victimization or self-abuse that you might be going through, self-sabotage, the second week of January comes in to give you something to start healing that. And it might actually start with your diet. To me, Temperance has a lot to do with health and diet and hydration, and balancing like hormones or blood pressure or any of the balances within the body which can get out of line. Scorpio is very prone to having hormonal imbalances, and like overhydration or dehydration both can happen with Scorpio, and it tends to fluctuate. There's like a lot of fluctuations of weight or hormonal experiences. I sense like you being able to start to mend old imbalances within your body here, but it might come through being faced with a new version of it as well. Like for those of you who have like hormonal issues, perhaps it becomes most obvious here and you finally kind of get the wherewithal to finally face it. It seems like a good time to go to a naturopath or a good time to just be at a doctor or any kind of institution that you trust and feel good with about solving these problems. Or it also feels like you can do it yourself. Anything that feels like, okay, this is going to solve this problem is really good in January. Because I do think that you can really see Scorpio in March, again, after you sort of get through this January and February other dimensional time experience. Scorpio can really come out in March like healed from Cancer, healed from hormonal imbalances as a new transformed person, kind of like the phoenix rising from the ashes. And we'll get to it when we come there. But you have to be careful with March to November of 2018 because that can sort of be like another burning period. But one way or another, January and February sort of needs to be like the washing the ashes off, shedding the skin type of experience. It shouldn't have that much to do with other people. If you're feeling like Eight of Swords as a result of other people, it feels like you need to exclude it or you need to reject it. For sure, that's just an intuitive feeling. If anything, that should be coming from yourself so you can solve the part of yourself which keeps attracting these people in. In the third week, you guys have 10 of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by 8 of Cups. Some of you are walking away or quitting your job or choosing to make money in a new way. Even walking away from old family traditions, I sometimes interpret the 10 of Pentacles as. Whatever feels like your most stable source of income or your most stable sense of self. For some people, that's family or their ancestry, it can be. You're having to walk away from it in a way. And 8 of Cups is always a wonderful experience of walking away because despite having to walk away from something, it's like you're not leaving empty-handed and you can most of the time walk into something even better. It's interesting to sort of be walking from 8 of Cups into 8 of Pentacles in the fourth week. It's like I sense some of you like quitting your job and starting your own startup or really going into the drawing board and starting your own business. Make sure that you have things lined out. It's not the best time for spontaneous walkaways or storming out of the office with like no resignation or anything. It's like you can be very successful with that, and that happens a lot with Jupiter and Scorpio type of energy, but you really give yourself a lot by not being too spontaneous in that way. So definitely try to put in your notice or something, or whatever phase of life that you realize that you have to walk away from. Try to be open and try to be spiritually evolved with it. Because it's not even that you get severely punished if you're not, but it feels like a regret in the future if you're too spontaneous with your endings right now. Okay, 4th week Scorpios, 8 of Pentacles rooted down by 9 of Wands reversed. New endurance through building. I sense like building your body up and becoming a more enduring person, like your immune system becoming better, or your body's vitality becoming better. Health is definitely a big thing for January. It's a good time again to stop the addictions, or to start building, like, I want to say like probiotics or more alkaline food sources to build your body up stronger. It's like there has to almost be layers with Scorpio with this type of energy. It's like maybe some of you are thinking, okay, I want the new job, or I want the new car, or I want like the new phone, or all these new things, because Scorpio tends to get a lot of material things with Jupiter where it's at. So yeah, you can get the new property, you can get the new car, the new clothes, the new phone, the new whatever, really. But if you get them before you've made yourself stronger, like let's say, well, I've had this hormonal imbalance for a long time, or I've had this lingering immune problem for a long time, but I think I want a new car, and I think that I want a new house, or I think that I want a new phone. It creates a weird type of karmic energy where it's like you need to fix the imbalances within yourself before you take on a lot of new things. Energetically, if you take on a lot of new things which have like money conditions, like you're spending a lot when you don't even have a healthy body, you know, that can sort of make itself very obvious and apparent. Like it can be hard to hang on to these things, like you might break something, or you might crash the car or something, just because your energy can't maintain a lot of turnover of objects, since your body might not be able to have cellular turnover very well. It has to sort of match up now, you know. But yeah, and that really sums up the 4th week for me, like realizations of like how you have to become more wholesome within yourself before you really try to expand extremely. Otherwise, you can kind of poison and bleed off the less than wholesome parts of your personality into these new wonderful things. And again, January and February, that feels like a period of time for me for Scorpio where you do it, where you solve these problems and where you become healthier so that you can have this amazing Jupiter benevolence. And you know, Knight of Cups is your central theme. So that sort of colors all of this in the sense that like you're building into a more healthier version of yourself. For some of you, depending on your age, you might be going down to the Knight of Cups, or you might be going up to the Knight of Cups, spiritual age, physical age, whatever. It's definitely a sign to not be vomiting all of your secrets onto people. Scorpio has become a little bit of a, like, for example, I've seen a lot of Scorpios lately who maybe, if they're with a group of people, even if they don't know them very well, like they have a few drinks or something, and then they're like, I was abused when I was younger, or they're like, I was cheated on 3 times in my last relationship, like to people that they don't even know. Watch out for this. It's better. It's like saying less is better right now. Now you need to be honest with people who are extremely close to you. Like it might be important that like your husband or your wife know that you had this abuse, but like random people, be careful of vomiting your problems onto random people, because in a way you're poisoning other people. Like you're throwing the poisonous parts of your aura into other people's aura when it's not needed. It's a better time to say less, honestly, and to sort of be more of a mysterious figure than a like extroverted, loud, and I want to almost say like flat character, like someone who would have the abuse, or someone who would vomit things onto everyone else. Very predictable. It's better to be a little bit mysterious and unpredictable right now with all of these aspects of life, having to do with quitting your job, having to do with foreign travel, or having to do with healing your body. It's not necessarily something that needs to be vomited onto everyone else right now. Because in a way, that's kind of you trying to cheat your way out of the energy. Because if you can like spread it out among a lot of people, it becomes less prevalent within yourself. And it's actually kind of a vampiristic, energetic thing to do. It's kind of the antithesis of that, honestly. But, and again, there are times when these stories need to be told, and there are times when these things need to be said, but not always. Make sure you're employing some discernment there. But overall, Scorpio's January feels amazing. Wow, what a way to kick off 2018. Don't be harsh on yourself if you don't see any quick changes. Again, this period of time is very manageable and very adaptable, so things can change very quickly, but also quite slowly. We're building up to March with your energy, so yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say other than prepare for kind of an amazing roller coaster ride, and do prepare for a lot of Jupiter benevolence. It is on its way. Anyway, I've so enjoyed giving this reading to you guys. If you would like to book a private reading with me, I believe you can click in the center of your screen right now. There should be some other links up here as well, and you can check the description box to follow me on Instagram or Twitter or any of those other things. So anyway, I will be talking to you guys in February. Much love. Bye.